I don't think I've I don't think I did any of these kind of videos in a while. I did a review um, of Judas and the Black Messiah yesterday. It posted on the other podcast on half ass, right? And this is a movie that's obviously based on a true story. It's about Fred Hampton and the FBI informant. I can't think this. Bill O'Neill, right? Played by Lakeith Stanfield. So I was watching this interview Daniel Kaluuya did on Breakfast Club a couple days ago, and I couldn't really sit through the whole thing just because of not because of Daniel Kaluuya. I don't even understand how he could even sit through this interview longer than 10 minutes. I'm surprised he made it to 26 because they're idiots. I love Charlemagne. Charlemagne, he's cool, but he's an idiot too. I mean, he has another podcast called Brilliant Idiots, and that the name fits perfectly because in a way he is brilliant and creative, and in other ways he's a fucking idiot. But you know what? I'm just gonna play this for you real quick.
Story.
A lot of people.
Yeah, so I just wanted to ask you, when you think about what he did, right, as that character, is there any redemption you can find for somebody like that? Because the whole movie, I just kept being like, oh, I can't stand him.
That's the question. That's the question you're going to ask the main actor of this movie. When you're in an interview with the main character, that's what you're going to ask him. I understand what she's trying to say, but she's been in this whole game of interviewing well over a decade. And that's the way you're going to ask him? Like, did you have any redemption for him? Because, I was watching the movie and I was like, I don't like him.
Yeah, I mean, the stuff I read that he did after that was just.
And they're talking about Bill O'Neill now. So not Daniel Kaluuya's character, but Lakeith Stanfield's character, Bill O'Neill, the guy that was the informant, snitched, ended up killing himself afterwards after revealing what he did on PBS.
Yeah, he killed himself. Yeah, but even that is how he carried on, in that area and what he did to that community. But for me, it's just to be clear that he is pawn. It's like he's a.
Why is that funny? That's the thing. I can't stand black people. Look, man. Dude was a legit pawn. If you were put in that position where it's like, look, you're gonna have to serve all this time in prison, and during that time in America, you did not want to be black and go to prison. I mean, you don't even want to be black and go to prison now, but back then you definitely didn't, because they pretty much handed you over to the KKK, and we all know what would happen back then. When they did that, you didn't want to be black and go to the hospital. I mean, they showed that in the movie. Old dude went to the hospital. He was recovering. He went to the hospital, and they handed him over to either the KKK or they handed him over to they handed him over to the KKK, and we all know what happened. And yet you're gonna sit up here on your platform and laugh at the fact that Daniel Kaluuya is saying this man that was pretty much, now I'm not saying they forced his hand, but when they pretty much forced his hand back in the day, they pretty much did. But when Daniel Kaluuya is saying, look, they used him as a pawn, and he's trying to say what he did was fucked up, and what he did had an impact on the party and all that other stuff. But at the end of the day, he was used. It's not like he just freely went out and was just, doing all this snitching and all this other stuff. You could tell in a movie like that, with Lakeith Stanfield's character, that you know, this guy really wanted to be a good guy. Like he really didn't want to do the things that he was doing, but he had to because he was being told, look, you're gonna be killed either way. You know what I mean? Either you know, be an informant or basically we'll kill you.
It's the FBI, you know, like it's that he is being used by people, you know.
I'm surprised he didn't lose his. I mean, obviously, you know, he's a trained actor, so he's not going to lose his cool when Angela is sitting there laughing after he says he was used as a pawn. But he's trying to explain to her now, look, it's the FBI. Like they are known for doing this shit. They've never stopped, and they never will. They will continue to use people as pawns, whether you're black, white, Mexican, whatever the fuck, Chinese. It don't matter. They do not care. You will be used as like he's trying to tell her that. He's trying to let her know, like, especially back in the day, that's what they did with black people. They used them as pawns. They used them as to infiltrate not just Black Panther parties, but to infiltrate all kinds of movements and stuff like that black people were trying to create to, I don't know whether they're trying to overthrow the government, but basically trying to, you know, defend themselves. And I'm not saying all of them were, but there were some that legit were just trying to have some kind of structure in the black community. And yet, here goes Angela Yee sitting up on her platform laughing because someone was forced to be a pawn. Someone was forced to be used as a pawn. Now, I don't want to spend too much time on that one because we have another instance. And here goes Charlemagne using his personal issues with Lakeith Stanfield during a professional, what is supposed to be a professional interview with, again, the lead, the actor that had the lead, that played the lead role, Daniel Kaluuya, bringing up Lakeith Stanfield and pretty much trying to get Daniel Kaluuya to turn on his own friend, because they are friends in real life, his own friend, just so that Charlemagne can feel better about himself.
And then with a belief that oppresses me, how can I empower people that don't like me? That don't make no sense. I'm not in the business of that. You feel me?
Yeah.
So then I go, all right, cool. I need to really look at that. Really look at the words I say. Really look at, because my body's listening. You feel me? When you say stuff, your body listens to you.
Well, you know, you got to rap, guys. You got to go.
Damn, I wonder, did you find yourself looking at Lakeith differently after the way he played this role? Because he did it too well.
Yo.
And he wasn't joking. Charlemagne wasn't joking. Charlemagne's known for throwing shade, and yeah, most of the time it's funny, but when we're talking about stuff like this, especially when you're talking about acting and shit like this, like you
Lakeith still got beef. Lakeith still got beef, Charlemagne. Is that what's it?
I never had an issue.
You looking at him sideways? Is that what was happening?
I never had an issue with him. I do feel like he was born to play this role, though.
Wow. No. We're not having that. What it is, yeah? Charlemagne, what it is, yeah? But Lakeith, yeah, in this film, he makes the biggest sacrifice.
Yes,
in
he
this
does.
film, the biggest sacrifice.
He does.
And in this film, he's serving Chairman Fred. Because in order to show you what Chairman Fred is, you have to show him what he isn't. You know? You can't see the light without the dark.
That's right.
You understand? And he served that. And he put himself in the line. That's not his politics at all. You know? He doesn't, that's not how he feels at all. And it was really tough on him on certain days. I mean, he was really going through it. And for him to give, to not be aligned politically to O'Neill and still give it his all and still humanize him in order to show who Chairman Fred was, to show who the Black Panther Party was, that's incredible. You know what I'm saying? And I salute.
So he even admits, he says, look, Lakeith was going through it on set. Like dude was literally like trying to cope with the fact that this dude did this shit in real life. Like people just take what they see during these interviews. People just take what they see from these actors on camera and don't and they try and run with shit. But they don't really know. You know what I mean? Like yes, Lakeith sometimes is a goof. Sometimes, you know. Sometimes Lakeith is out of line sometimes when when he says stuff. But at the end of the day, this dude is as professional as it gets when it comes to acting. He takes it as serious, probably more serious than most when it comes to acting, which is why he has gotten to the heights that he has made it to in terms of acting. And for Charlamagne to sit up there and try and throw shade at Lakeith and try and shit on all the hard work that this dude's done, that's one thing I will never understand. It's like, you of all people, Charlamagne, should know what these people have to go through to get where they are. And yet, all you want to do is tear them down. See, this is the fucking problem with black people now. They want to continue to tear each other down, and then want to blame somebody else for it. And again, I commemorate, Daniel Kaluuya, real stand-up guy. Because I don't know if someone were to talk about my friend like that, and try and discredit their work, and say, oh, did you look at them a different way because they played that role just a little too. They tried doing that with what's his name a few years ago. What's that dude's name? Rappaport. I can't remember his first name. But he's had like 2 roles where he's played, like he's had like 2 movie roles where he's played a racist. And then people try to say, oh, he plays a racist a little too well and blah, blah, blah. And he's had more than one racist role. It's just like, come on, man. Anyways, look, man. Again, I haven't done a video like this in a while. Just talking about empowerment amongst each other, and like not just in terms of black people, but I think just in terms of people, period. Like we need to get our shit together, man. Because like I gave the analogy not too long ago on this podcast about Game of Thrones. They were for 8 seasons or however many seasons they had, they were fighting each other, and then in the end, it didn't even matter who didn't like who. They had to fight the great fight together against non-humans. Guys, we're going to have to do the same, but we can't even do that as humans because we can't even do it as a country, let alone as different races. But anyways, hit that like, hit that subscribe. I am me. This is Contemporary Comrades, and I am OU. And yep, you guessed it, T.